As you know by now, President Trump has declassified the controversial GOP memo alleging anti-Trump bias in the FBI and Justice Departments. Revelations in the 4-page memo include that a Foreign Surveillance Act, FISA warrant, would not have been obtained without the use of information contained in an unsubstantiated anti-Trump dossier financed in part by Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. Here's the quote from the memo drafted by the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes. FBI Deputy Director McCabe testified before the committee in December of 2017 that no surveillance warrant would have been sought from the FISC, that is the FISA court, without the Steele dossier. All right. It is time to go in depth on this memo and what it might mean. Joining Julio and I now to do just that is David Horowitz. He is the editor of Front Page Magazine. He's the founder of the David Horowitz Freedom Center, and I'm certain, David, you have a little bit to say about this memo. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, let's get things started by going through several lines from this, and let's start with the one that I think is the most interesting, and that is the revelation that McCabe had testified that they would have never gotten a FISA warrant to surveil Carter Page had it not been for this dubious dossier, if you will. I'm sure there was more in there that upset you, but what was your reaction to it, and what in particular?
Well, the big story, people are sort of missing the big story here. And the big story is we have a democracy or a country where the fundamental idea is that the people are sovereign. So when we have an election, it's really important that the people's voice gets to be heard and that it isn't rigged. When it's rigged, as it was in this case, quite evidently, by the intelligence services, by the FBI and the FISA courts. Not that the FISA courts collude. They take a fake dossier, which was paid for by the Clinton campaign, to destroy the character. I mean, it's just aimed at destroying Trump as a public figure. This is treason at the highest level. This is the worst thing that you can do. If they had been successful, Trump had lost, and now, I mean, they're trying to take down his presidency through the same dossier, because that's, it's behind what Mueller is doing. And then you have the Democrats, without exception. I mean, they're all, in lockstep. It's like a communist party. There's no dissenters among Democrats. I love the way they always point to Republicans who will side with them. Where are the Democrats that are siding with the Republicans? But you have them all forming a phalanx to defend this indefensible act. We have a very serious crisis in our country. The top of the FBI, Comey, Mueller, Wray, the Clapper, who's gone now, but the head of the intelligence agencies, have all used their offices, which is supposed to protect the American people, politically, to sabotage a candidate they don't like.
Well, let me ask you this.
They all should go to jail.
Well, let me ask you this, David. This actually also speaks to, the attorney generals that were in place at the time. And, this should not come as a shock to you or anyone else that's kind of really been observant. But put yourself in the shoes of Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Now, after seeing all this and watching the progress or lack thereof of the Mueller investigation, what do you do right now if you're Attorney General Jeff Sessions about this?
It's a big problem because the Democrats control the microphones, and they have this lockstep party where everybody is on the same page all the time and screaming bloody. Yes, this is the result of 8 years of a corrupt, illegal, fast and furious use of government agencies, which are supposed to be neutral, among the political factions, use of them to punish political enemies. So there's no real surprise here. Of course it's Obama, and of course it's Fuller and Lynch. Lynch should be in jail. You could see the collusion in getting Hillary off. Hillary, violated the Espionage Act in putting that on her private server. She obstructed justice when she wiped her server clean after being ordered not to. It's really simple. But, you know, we don't live in simple times, unfortunately.